Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, you're listening to the podcast Capturing Magic. I'm Bill Rogers, the voice of Disney. Thanks very much for listening.
Welcome to Capturing Magic. I'm Steph from CapturingMagic.me and thedailydigi.com. This is episode 70, recorded on January 16th, 2014. Ooh, I think maybe the last episode that we recorded, I might have said 2013.
You probably did.
I probably did. No one said anything, though, so that's nice. Thanks, everyone, for letting that pass by without mentioning it, since I can't fix it anyway. I am here with Tanya Hickman, who is a writer on Capturing Magic and team member, and she can be found at crossbonecuts.blogspot.com, and her social media, Instagram, Twitter is TanyaH666, right?
Yep.
I get it all?
Yes.
Your digital designs are found at scraporchard.com. I did miss one.
That's all right.
All good.
It's early.
We also have joining us today Heather W., who can be found at heatherw.com/character. Heather is also a writer at Capturing Magic and team member. Hi, Heather.
Hi.
Heather is also fresh back from Disney World.
Yes, I just got back. I came back with the cold souvenir from Disney, but it's free. It's a free souvenir.
Free souvenir.
Not much for free at Disney, but that is one of them.
That's really funny. I'm sorry that you came back sick. That's never fun.
Oh, it's okay. I had fun. I did the 10K, so it's a ton of fun. I got addicted to that Run Disney stuff, so I want to do a half next. And
that's exciting. Very
and
exciting.
hopefully a 10K with Tanya later in the year. We'll see, right?
Yeah.
Do you guys have one that you're setting a goal to do together, or just talking right now?
Hopefully the one in August.
Very fun.
If I don't die from trying to run before then.
Yeah, she has to start running.
You have to start running.
She promised me. She said, I'll run it with you. So, okay.
I said, if she wants to come out here in August, then I will do the 10K with her in August.
That's exciting. You're doing a 5K tomorrow morning?
Yeah, tomorrow morning.
The Neverland
5K.
Which is part of the Tinkerbell half marathon.
Yes.
It's just a half, right? It's not a full.
Yeah, I don't think we do a full at all here, do we?
I don't think so either.
No, we don't do a full at all here.
And here is Disneyland, in case people don't know. In case they might be new, because we do quite often get new listeners where they're joining us in, the flocks, which is fabulous. We love our new listeners. So yes, Tanya is local to California, and so her most frequented park is Disney World. Heather is on the East Coast, and her most frequented Disneyland. Sorry, thank you. Hello. I know my geography. I promise. I knew that this was going to be a rough day this morning when I was trying to have a conversation with my husband, and he kept having to correct me because I was making stupid. I'm like, it's going to be rough recording shows today. I can tell. Okay, Tanya, you're local to Disneyland.
Yes.
Heather's on the East Coast, and so she gets to frequent Disney World more often.
Yes.
Okay. Tell us, Tanya, who you usually go to the parks with when you're hitting the parks.
I usually go either by myself or with my mom.
Yay, Mom.
Go and we just hang out.
Yeah. Heather, what about you?
Yeah, pretty much the same thing. I go with my mom or I go alone, and I have a lot of local friends in the Disney World area, so I usually meet up with them. And then if I go to Disneyland, I meet up with Tanya.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, you have lots of friends kind of all over that you can hit the parks with almost any time.
Yeah, I have more friends around the Disney areas than I do where I live. So. And I'm not even joking about that.
I totally can understand, because it's starting to be that way for me too. And so I'm sure you've been at this quite a bit longer than me. So I'm sure it's that way for you. For sure. Alrighty. I'm really excited for the show today. We're doing a mail show where we're just going to go through and answer questions. And mail shows tend to be super popular with our listeners, where we just kind of answer everybody's questions that have come in over a little while. We had way more questions than we're going to be able to hit today, I think. But we will do our best and then come back and hit it again. Maybe try and make this a regular thing if it's something that people continue to love. And we didn't make a plan before we started recording. Do you guys want me to read? Do we want to take turns reading? What do you want to do?
It's up to you. You can read. We can answer if you want.
Okay, I'll do that then. I'll let y'all answer. That's good. I might throw in something here or there.
Oh. Just kidding.
All right, this is from Alejandra, and she says, is it the truth if you want a photo with the characters, you have to pay? I mean, that you can't take photos with your own cell phone or camera, only with a PhotoPass package?
Not true.
Not true. That would be bad.
Yeah.
Really bad.
You can give your camera or your phone, not your iPad, just your phone or your camera, to any PhotoPass in any of the parks. And I do want to say that I used my MagicBand almost solely for PhotoPass this trip because I wanted to test that out. And I did have one set of pictures that was missing, but that's kind of normal for PhotoPass anyway, and they were able to find it. But I did notice that when you use your MagicBand, that then, I'll give them my camera, and it used to be that I would give them the card so they know to do both. But now, since you're not giving them a card, after they use my camera, then they'll say, do you want me to use, the PhotoPass camera? And I'd say yes. So that started to get tiring after the second day. So I would just say, yes, I want you to use PhotoPass, or, I have it on my MagicBand. So that's kind of a thing that it's a little annoying now, but I did. Steph knows how I've been with the MagicBand things, and I will say it has worked out for me.
Yeah, because I don't know that we had you back on the show. So you've gone twice now, right?
Yeah, I did say that we would have to have a show where I came on and said how it has worked, because I was not so sure about it. I still am not sure about the whole FastPass Plus thing. I haven't really used it too much. I mean, it's mostly worked when I've used it, but I did have one disappear once, and I made a FastPass on my last day, kind of close to when I was leaving, so I made a Big Thunder FastPass for about an hour later, but that was the only one I wasn't able to make anymore, even though you're supposed to be able to make 3, so I did have a couple of things with that, but getting into the room, I think alone is worth it. Like at the end of the day,
and painting.
When I came back from the 10K, because I wasn't 100% sure if I was going to wear the band for that, and then I decided to because I wore pink and my MagicBand was pink, so it all matched. So, but it was even just that, it's so easy to get into the room with that, and it's worked for me for paying. My mom had some issues getting into the park and paying when she had it, but it wasn't that much, but. So yeah, it has worked, and as I said, I didn't use it for PhotoPass last time because I was kind of paranoid about it, and I'd heard even from PhotoPass people and the cast members, there's still some issues, so I didn't want to, but this time I decided to do an experiment and see if it worked, and it did. So mostly.
So did you not use your PhotoPass Plus card at all this last time?
No, I once or twice they gave me a card, so I used that. I didn't get a chance to give them my band, but other than that, I used the band every time. And there was one with Aurora that didn't show up on the pass, and I emailed them, and it showed up right away, which is doesn't usually happen. Usually takes a couple of days, but yeah,
that's great.
So I was impressed by that, but all the resorts now, they're going to be, by the end of this month, they're not going to have Key of the World cards at all. So it's going to all be everything with the MagicBand. And from what I understand from a couple cast members, that should hopefully fix some of the issues, because some of the systems are kind of going against each other. And that's part of the problems, because there are still people having problems even though it was fine for me. I still heard a lot of people complaining. The app, even for me, is still a pain. Wasn't working just about every day. You'll always get an error message, which is not
really?
good. Yeah,
no, that's not good.
So trying to even just trying to find park hours, and then it wasn't coming up right. And like I said, with making the FastPass Plus, that's still kind of a thing for me. And they took away or I don't know if it's still in testing or whatever, but they took away the paper FastPasses now from Magic Kingdom. I think they started 2 days ago, and they had done that from Animal Kingdom back in December. So slowly that's starting to
phase that all out.
Yeah, I went and I got a couple of paper FastPasses to keep, and I should have done that for all the rides. I realized that once I got home, which was too late.
Right, for Souvenirs, because it's...
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are they going to do with people that just go for the day?
They have a lot of these FastPass kiosks.
Yeah.
And then they give you a paper thing, and then you check off the 3 you want. And so this way you remember what you have if you don't have the app or you don't have the MagicBand or whatever. Yeah, and then I saw a picture of the lines. You can imagine how that is if you're just going for the day. And yeah.
People that don't know that they need to plan this kind of stuff, I always feel bad for them.
Yeah.
But
I sometimes don't feel bad because I feel like you should do research.
well, that's the thing. I mean, who goes to Disney World for a day, right?
It's true.
They deserve to have to wait in line if they only go for a day.
I will say I did before I became this. When I first started going to Disney, we did just go for the day. We would go to spring training in Clearwater, just near Tampa. So then it's like about, depending on traffic, it could be 45 minutes to an hour and a half away. And so then we would drive to Disney for the day. And so we did do that. And that was, people I make fun of now, I was them, because, I didn't really know much and anything like that. But yeah, now I'm like, dude, most of the time, you don't. But they do still sell, 1 day passes. So I don't know, but it has to really be hard. And then you're spending all that time in line making your FastPass. It's just like, but it's hard too. And you have with the FastPass Plus, there was, one time in my last trip that it would have been great to get FastPass Plus for Space Mountain, but the person I was with was a cast member, so they didn't have a MagicBand, so they couldn't get FastPass Plus, so that was impossible. So we couldn't ride because it was crazy crowded. So
yeah. How are they? Well, we've got a question later actually coming up that you can hopefully answer about that. Let's move on into the next question from Leanne regarding the Goodnight Kiss. And she says, I'm going the first week of March. Are the cast members trying to push you out, or do they let you stay around to see it, meaning the Goodnight Kiss? And does it happen if there is a fireworks show? So Heather, tell us first what the Goodnight Kiss is. Sum that up.
Yeah, the Kiss Goodnight is kind of just a little couple minute thing on the castle. It's not, a huge deal, but they play a little bit of music. It's kind of a thing to say, nice way to say, get out of the park because the park is kind of closing. But it's really a nice thing to see. The castle kind of lights up, different colors. It sparkles. It's Jiminy Cricket that comes on and says a couple of things. I'll have to get the link for the post I did about it last year with some pictures. But it was a while before I even saw it for the first time because it's not something that a lot of people know about. So but I think sometimes it's several times towards the end of the night. There's the timing. I should have looked it up, but they never really push you out. I mean, I've seen people who are the last ones in the park and they're taking their time. I was the last person in the Magic Kingdom back in February, and so we ate at Be Our Guest and it was late, and we were the last ones there, and there was a security guy and a cast member, and they were kind of slowly walking behind us, but they were not pushing us out.
They just won't let you turn around and go the other direction. But they'll if you stop to take pictures, they'll stop, they'll wait.
Yeah. They took the picture for us.
Yes.
The security guy was really nice. And being me, I wanted to stop and take more pictures. I did not have my good camera with me, so that probably helped me not to stop and take even more pictures. But yeah, and then when we were leaving, and we were the only ones there, and then they did the Kiss Goodnight still. So that was still not trying to push us out because, we were still there. And the funny thing was they, like I said, it was just us. And the guy, one of the cast members said, what resort are you staying at? And we had a car, so he said, oh, okay. And they ran to tell because there was a bus waiting for us.
Oh my goodness.
They make sure that everybody can get back. So yeah, you don't have to worry about that either. I had in December, I think I was there over an hour past the park was closing. It was like 2 a.m. or something. And I was not anywhere close to the last person. But when I got out, they didn't have a bus for every resort. So they had moved it. So we were originally something like 24 our spot was, but they had us meet at number 8. So that happens too. But that's the thing I think a lot of people also worry about is, how with the buses, or am I able to get back to my resort if I don't leave? But so they always make sure that you can get back, because they don't want people wandering around.
No, they don't. And I went and answered her on the site, and one of the things that I said is that Main Street usually is open for an hour after park close, the posted park close time. They'll let you shop and do. Sometimes Disneyland, not as much. Disney World, there's food concessions and stuff like that open when we've been there.
Yeah, and
unless it's a party night, that's totally different. Everything shuts down.
That's exactly what I was just going to say, because I noticed, because sometimes you'll have the PhotoPass will still be out there afterwards, but if it's a party night, I've noticed that in the last year. It used to be that they were, and then I noticed last year, the second it hit midnight, they were gone.
Yeah.
Because I didn't get any pictures from the Halloween party, and then they were gone. I was so sad. So it's
when I was there for my birthday, we caught it, and we were still. It was closing time, Disney World time, but we were still on. It was our first night there, and we were still on Pacific time, and so it felt super early to us, and we were hungry because we hadn't really eaten yet, because that was when I was trying to do all 6 parks in 24 hours. And so we were at Casey's getting some fries and drink and stuff like that, and went and sat down, and that's when we saw the Kiss Goodnight. And I jumped up and ran to video it on my phone, and then we sat and visited and ate, and there were still other people getting food. And then they ran it again. I think it was about 20 minutes later, 15 to 20 minutes later, that they ran it again.
Yeah, I have to, in that post, I think I might have the sort of time. They don't put it on the time schedule. And it's one of those things I think they don't tell you about.
Yeah, it's just a surprise. It's a fun thing.
Yeah, it's a nice little thing.
Yeah.
To see if you haven't seen it.
Exactly. From Lisa Stranges, I think is Stranges. Regarding the cards used in the post on Capturing Magic about official Project Life and official Disney products together, she says, "Hello, I just found this on Pinterest. Do you know if these will be available in the parks? I'm heading there in April."
Aren't those only Disney Store?
Yeah. I haven't seen them anywhere in the parks.
No, they don't sell a lot of stuff like that in the parks.
Yeah.
The only thing I noticed was they still sell that scrapbook packet, because I wasn't sure if they even still sold them, but I happened to see
with
them.
The stickers.
Yeah, the crafty one. Yeah,
it's not so cute.
No, not cute at all. But they do still sell that. But
yeah.
Yeah,
when I've been at the parks, I will go and scour for things that will work in Project Life, because my kids love doing Project Life. And I found tons of postcards, especially in Cars Land and Disneyland. There's also a shop back on Paradise Pier that has some cards that are kind of retro looking posters, like they use in the parks, of different attractions. I think there's 4 or 5 different cards in that. But those are the only cards that I've seen in the parks. Otherwise, you need to grab them on the Disney Store, and grab them fast, because they go fast.
Yeah.
And the Disney, I'll tell you what, the Disney Store is not easy to search. It's not easy to find stuff.
It's not easy to get your stuff either. It takes 3 weeks for them to ship stuff.
It takes a long time. Yeah, I did email my contact there because people were having a hard time, and she said that she was going to talk to them about the website people about making it easier to find cards, because there's been so much interest in using them for Project Life since I did that post, which is awesome and crazy all at the same time.
Yeah, those are pretty perfect. So
yeah, they're the perfect size. They're perfect everything. You really can't get any better than that.
I really have to pick them up, because I haven't scrapped in so long. So, but they're still, if I ever get back into that,
you'll never use them.
Yeah, but they're so cute anyway.
You ought to just have them, just for fun. Okay, this is from Carrie B, and it's regarding episode 67, PhotoPass, MemoryMaker, Merry or Card Maker, and the Story app. It was the last episode that we did right before Christmas, I think. Or one of the last episodes right before Christmas. She has several questions in this, so we'll just pause after the first question and answer it, and then move on. Great episode. This is very timely for me, since we are leaving for WDW at the end of the month. I already purchased the PhotoPass Plus, Or FastPass Plus, she says. I'm thinking maybe she means PhotoPass.
Yeah.
Yeah, she means PhotoPass. So now I need to decide if I want to exchange and go with MemoryMaker instead. It seems like the main difference is the stock photo CD. Is that right?
Well, the timing of the pictures is different, right? That's
the timing of it's a little bit different. The biggest difference are the CD and then
the downloading.
Yeah, the fact that MemoryMaker is just download only.
Yeah, and you can download it while you're there. And the other thing I will say is I did notice this trip that when you got your pictures, immediately you could see it online, because there was one time we after the 10K, of course, I went to the Magic Kingdom to get pictures in front of the castle with my medal. That's the thing. And then we walked by the fairy room and there was no wait. So we went in there, and right after we walked out, the pictures were already up because they had scanned my band, but they didn't scan my friend's band. So we had to link our accounts. So I had checked it and I saw that immediately the pictures were already up. So that was pretty interesting, because usually it would take like a day. So, and then you can download it, because my friends, that's what they had. So they were downloading the pictures.
Yay!
That was the thing, because I still had the PhotoPass Plus, because it was the whole thing I was thinking of changing. I remember when we were talking about it, you said that if I called that, then I could change it. That ended up not being true. It was
a nightmare for you.
It was, because I got there and I know you wanted me to get it. So I kept saying, and they kept telling me, don't change, because, the expiration is different. And, they kept telling me that one was better. Then I had other people saying it's not that it's better, it's just different. But they were adamant that the PhotoPass Plus was better. And I kept saying, I don't know, because my friend really wants me to get this one. And, downloading it would be cool. But it ended up being then I'd have to still completely buy it. There was no refund. They called everybody. It was a whole thing. So I stuck with it, and it was fine. I ended up, the only thing is I didn't go on any rides that would work for it that trip. So I never got a ride photo. But so, but the other thing is that MemoryMaker, it's everywhere. It's too much everywhere. I think
they're totally merchandise. I mean, because it's different the way they're able to market it more.
And the thing is, they have like the cards for it, which I don't really understand, because you can get it on your band, but they have a whole display of it, and it's everywhere. Just like the thing with the My Magic Plus with your band, they have a lot of things that they sell to put around your band, to put on your band, clothes for the band. It's crazy. And when I went in the pin store, and it's a whole section, and it was just that, and it's the Magic Band and the but it's in every resort. There's screens that play, and so it's. You can't miss it.
And I think it's good, because I think the way it's been marketed in the past, it's been too easy to miss and too easy to not know that it's there. And it's been a lot of work to educate people that it's there. And the way they're changing it so that it's an actual, I don't remember what they call it, an asset, something like that. It makes it so that they can have the cards on the shelves that people can buy, and then it's added to their package, their whole vacation package as part of their trip, instead of just this thing that's out there that is mythical that people don't really know about. I hope that it works out really well for them, and I hope it simplifies things too.
Because I still don't understand it's supposed to be with your band, and then but then they have all the cards, so that's the other confusing thing is, and when you, like I said, a couple times they gave me a card and it still said PhotoPass on it. And I thought they were trying to get rid of it, but I don't know. I'm confused. I did see a lot of people still with PhotoPass Plus
cards.
Yeah. Lanyards and stuff. So I don't know. And one time when I was waiting in line for something, and the guy was saying how none of their pictures were showing up. And so, but like I said, it's always been the case. There's always been an issue. I've talked about it in other podcasts of things not showing up. And
I think some of that can be attributed to user error. I really do. But I mean, not all of it, of course. But I think if somebody's having none of their pictures show up, there's something going on the user's end, I think, where they haven't set it up right. They haven't, they haven't hooked the card up with their account or something like that. That's what I think.
And the cool thing too is how you can set it up now where you have friends and family, and so you could see all their pictures, which is, although sometimes if you just want to see your pictures, you can click it off, but it's automatically set up to show you friends and family's pictures. Mm-hmm. So like when I was there in December and John was there, so I could see all of his pictures. So, and he was there a while, so it's a lot more pictures. So then I have to, click it off. But that's a interesting thing that you can do. And you can set up, remember we were talking also about having the friends, and I said you can't get rid of friends from your account.
Yes.
They have changed that, because I was looking, there's a thing on the friends and family site. It's not in the app, but it's on their site. So you can delete people, you can edit, that they can see your pictures or they can't see your pictures, or they can see your plans or change your photos. Yeah, so they are.
So you can fire John as a friend.
I can get rid of him as a friend.
He will be so glad that he got a shout out. John's been on the show before. His username on Twitter and Instagram is @Jobber99. He's also friends with Tanya. They found out after being involved in the Disney community and stuff that they are neighbors. Yeah. Which I think is just the funnest story ever.
Yeah. I probably see him more than I see my own boyfriend.
That's funny.
Because he lives so close.
The funny thing is I was friends with him through Disney, and then after a little bit he said, I think you know my wife, and I've known his wife for years. Because I run a Michelle Kwan site, and I've done that since I was a teenager, and we were friends through that.
Which I think is a fun story, too. It's so amazing.
Small world.
Small world. Because Ginger's a digital scrapbooker as well.
Yes, she is.
Yeah. Okay, her next question. I'm also planning to buy new shoes for the trip, so Steph's pick, which my pick was the Skechers Go Walk shoes, is just what I needed. Steph, did you get a pair with laces or not? I definitely want to minimize foot pain and fatigue. I did not get laces. I don't think it's going to matter if you have laces or not, though, on if they're going to work for you. But Heather came and posted in the comments and made a good point to make sure that you break them in. And I did wear those shoes. I bought them a week before I left, and I wore them constantly in the house, everywhere, so that they would be broken in. And it seemed to work pretty well because those shoes worked out fabulously for me.
Nice. That's the biggest tip. If you haven't gone to Disney World, you need to start walking before, like a month before at least. Get your legs. That's actually how I started. I was walking just to keep my legs in shape for Disney, and then it morphed to I did a 5K for the characters, and then it's morphed into me running. But yeah, I told somebody before they were going to Disney World to do this, and they thought I was crazy. No, I go to Disneyland all the time. I'll be fine. and then the first day they got there, they were like crying because
don't wear sandals, people. Don't wear sandals all day.
No. But you know what? I walk more.
3 days.
I walk more at Disneyland than I do Disney World. A lot more, which is crazy to me.
Yeah, but I don't. I'm only there like 3 hours.
Well, no. You pop in to come meet me for a Diet Coke and,
I'm good.
Yeah, exactly. It's awesome.
Yeah, I wore, when we went to Disney World, I wore sandals. It was hot. Like, my feet get hot, and I don't even think I had I did bring tennis shoes, but they were like a sorry excuse for tennis shoes. They weren't even really tennis shoes. And I wore sandals for like the first 3 full days that we were there. And by the 4th day, my feet were so swollen that I was lucky. I brought those crappy tennis shoes because I couldn't walk at all.
Yeah.
Awful.
Although the first day was the Halloween party, and you know how I am at a party.
Yeah, she ran me.
So I ran her to the ground.
In sandals.
Funny. Really funny. Okay, her third question is, I also had a question regarding the MagicBands. I received my customized bands and plan to take them in my carry-on for the plane, so we have them to head right to the park. Can they go through X-ray okay, or does it impact them? Just wanting to make sure I get through airport security with no problems and also don't mess up the bands.
Yes.
Yeah.
They go fine. I kept them in my carry-on bag, and then when I got in, I put it on because you can use it for Magical Express.
Yeah.
And which is weird. They do it 3 places, and they're strange places, but Sorry. So you can do that, but I see people even still wearing it the whole time. So it's perfectly fine.
Yeah. I had mine in my carry-on as well. All 6 of them in my carry-on, and for my husband and I. And then just when we got to Animal Kingdom, pulled a couple out, and we went, and it was great. And I wore my Magic Band the whole time we were there. I totally blinged mine out, though. You know, you're laughing at all of the bling. I bought lots of that bling. I did not buy any of the fabric things. I don't think that those are as attractive.
Yeah, but I have seen people wear them, but I would think that they would get hot.
Yeah.
But that was the other thing, I was worried about how it would feel in the heat, in the rain, in the cold. And so I was there for all of it over the course of the 2 months. And after the first not even half day, like I didn't even realize it was on there. And I was able to have it on there with my watch, and it worked out well. I want to test out, because my wrist is really tiny, but I haven't taken off the gray part, because you can take that off to make it smaller.
You can?
Yeah.
Who knew?
You know that? Yeah, that's for because they tell you if you have a kid, you can do that.
Oh.
The only thing is you can't put it back on.
Oh.
So that was the only thing I wasn't sure. Yeah. So I wasn't sure if when it gets hot, like you might swell up. So I wasn't 100%. But now I have 2 of them. So I figure maybe one of them I'll test out and take it off. And you can also blink, like you said, you can buy this stuff. My mom bought some of those. I forget what they call them, but
I call them bling, and I think that's a better name than whatever they came up with, because no one can remember their name.
But you can find them everywhere for everything.
Yeah.
But people are making their own like custom things. You can use, like, I accidentally got glitter nail polish on it, and so you can do that, use that to design it up. One of my friends who I was hanging out at Magic Kingdom with the last day, she put like rhinestones on the Mickey head, and it still worked.
Oh, that's awesome.
So, yeah.
That's great. That's brave.
That is very brave.
Well, she also, I think, had an extra one. Sometimes when you have more, you can kind of play around with it.
I'm totally going to start playing, because I got a lot of them.
And the other thing I want to say is, when you're talking about bringing them, is that you don't have to keep it in that huge box.
No, yes.
Because I went through this with my mom, and I said some people do that, and she said nobody would do that. And then I got to pop, and the 3 people in front of me in line all had this huge box, and there was like 1 or 2 bands in it. Just, you don't need to do that. You can take it out, put it in a bag, put it in a. We actually, my mom and I had one of those like lock and lock things, like a Tupperware thing, and so we stuck them in there and threw it in the bag, because there were 2 of them. But mine, I just kind of threw it in one of my bags where I had my chargers and stuff.
Yeah,
that box takes up so much room, and I can't believe people would actually bring that.
Okay,
so don't bring that.
Stop.
You brought stop.
Because so I had 6, and I had 3 boxes. I'm packing. My husband comes in, and he's like, "Why do you have all 3 of those boxes in your suitcase? That takes up so much room." And I'm like, "I know, but," and he's like, "Can't you take them out?" And I'm like, "Why, yes, I could." And that's when I took him, and he's like, "Don't you want them on your carry-on anyway?" I'm like, "Yeah, I think I do." Who's the novice here? Yeah. So just so our listeners don't have to feel bad if they've done that.
But I just know it's hard enough fitting everything in my carry-on bag.
I know, right?
As it is.
Those boxes are huge.
Yeah, so you don't need to do that. The most important thing in my carry-on bag is my camera. So, but I would never be able to fit that box in there. And, you're standing in line with the big box, so you don't need to do that.
That was me. Yeah. All right, the next one is from Dave regarding the Disney PhotoPass. That post called Disney PhotoPass can now be linked to MagicBands. And he said, "I ended up here while looking for a solution to a problem, but I can see the PhotoPass problems are greater than just mine. I purchased a photo CD before our trip, and now the credit won't show up on my order form. Disney has basically shut down its PhotoPass customer service center and aren't answering phones or emails. I'm curious as to whether or not previous posters have had any luck with getting their problems resolved." That has not been my experience at all.
No, I know when they started changing all this over, like when they made the new site, that they were getting so backed up that it was about 5 days to a week that it was taking them to get back to you. But I did call. I can't remember the last time I called. It was a couple months ago. But I mean, I've called and
I was going to say Heather's taught customer service with PhotoPass all the time.
Yeah,
I've got them programmed
like
into my cell phone.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
But I usually do it by email. But that was when I was trying to get the Uggy picture, and I went through. Oh, that was a whole nightmare. So I had to call them, and so that was probably October. I think I did it also after our Disneyland trip. So that was like the last time I called, and I was on hold for a long time, but they did answer. And like I was saying earlier, I had the problem with the picture, and I emailed them, and they emailed me back right away. So I don't know exactly what the situation was, but I think it still should be okay. And the other thing is with the credit, when you get did he say it was a PhotoPass Plus that he got?
He didn't say. He just said a photo CD. Right. And I think you're going exactly how I answered his question because
they used to credit you, but now I think with the PhotoPass Plus they give you in the box thing. There's a voucher in there, and it has the code. So when you go to order it, you put the code in.
Yes.
Correct?
Yes.
Yeah. So that's how that worked. But it is confusing because they did used to have. If you don't get, maybe it's still the same way if you don't get PhotoPass Plus and you just get the regular PhotoPass. And so it credits your account with that, and then it does it that way, which actually caused a problem for me once when I did have to call because I'd been to Disney World and then I went to Disneyland and it was taking my Disneyland one and it was taking the way more expensive one. So when I wanted to get my Disney World, it was confusing.
Yeah.
Just, this is what happens when you go too often. But I think if he got PhotoPass Plus, and that's the way it should be.
That's exactly what I figured, that he was expecting it to automatically be added because you would. It's natural to expect that, I think, especially with a company like Disney and their technology capabilities. You would expect that it would be automatic, but no. There are 2 vouchers inside that case, one to get your PhotoPass Plus thing and then one to get your actual CD. Thankfully, MemoryMaker is making that not an issue anymore because that was the longest painful process to go in order to use that PhotoPass Plus and be able to redeem it. But yeah, that's exactly where I think he was going. People that are just getting ready to go and will be doing MemoryMaker don't need to worry about it at all.
Yeah.
Because it's a totally different thing, ball game altogether. So, okay, Sarah says regarding episode 33, okay, this is probably a really stupid question, so I do apologize. In England, most of our pressed penny machines that you find at places like Sea Life, you have to put in £1 and 1 pence. Do you have to do that at Disney World? I'm going in January and would love to get as many as possible, but not if they are like $1.01 for every single one. Tanya.
No. They're
51
they're still 51 cents, unless you get like a pressed quarter or something, then they charge you $1. But pennies, it should be 2 quarters and a penny for each one.
Yes. Do you do those, Tanya?
I do.
Do you collect them?
I love me some pressed pennies.
I do too.
And it's not just Disney, I get them everywhere.
Do you?
Yeah. It's the way to go for a cheap souvenir.
I agree.
I think.
I agree.
They travel well. They're small. They don't cost that much. And they have fun little designs on them. I like pressed pennies.
Yeah.
Yeah. And when I see ones at Disney World too, I'll take pictures and send them to her.
Yeah.
Do you want them?
Do you have this one?
Oh, cute. See, you guys are just the best. The best sisters that weren't.
Yeah. Best sisters that never were. Yes. My only problem with pressed pennies is carrying around that many quarters with me all day.
Right.
I want to get all these pressed pennies, but I don't want to carry around a 5-pound bag of change. So I have to plan my pressed pennies.
Go ahead, Heather.
I was going to say too, I didn't expect to get the pressed pennies, so then I didn't have change. I usually don't even carry money when I'm at Disney,
Mm-hmm.
So then I had to go and find it, and then I had to tell them, that I needed it in quarters, and then in dimes, and then in pennies, so I could have the pennies to get those.
Yeah, funny. We have a post on Capturing Magic with tips for doing the pressed pennies and different ways that you can carry them around and stuff like that. The M&M case. The little tiny M&Ms, the miniature really M&M cases are cute.
That's a really cute idea.
Yeah.
And you can decorate that, I'm sure.
Seeing what people, decorate it with some MagicBand stuff.
Some MagicBand bling.
Yeah. I love seeing what different people do with them too once they get home. I mean, mine are just in the books from the parks, but you do a simple search on Pinterest and there's so many different things.
Yes. Yeah, we have a Capturing Magic on our Capturing Magic Pinterest. We have a souvenir board, and I've tried to pin as many ideas as I find on things to do with the pressed pennies once you get home to that board.
Yeah, I just saw. Was it on Capturing Magic with the Epcot map?
I saw that.
It was a post on Capturing Magic.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that because I dragged Heather around the whole showcase to get every single one of those pennies when we were there.
Fun.
Including that one day when it was pouring rain.
Yeah, it was like pouring rain. And I was like, I don't care. I need a penny from Canada. So I need to do something with those ones.
Fun. Okay, this one is from Becky, and it's regarding printing my first Disney photo book, and it was a post that Erin did. And she says, I love the photo book you made and see that you used Adorama pics to have it printed, but I'm wondering what you used to make your pages before adding them to Adorama pics. Thank you. And Erin came in and answered that, and he used Photoshop, and then he used the Project Mouse, and then there were a few other things that he used as well, but mostly Project Mouse. And
I think he tried to keep it to just Project Mouse for the most part, right?
He could have. Yeah, I remember reading his comment and going, "Oh, I'm surprised," because there were a couple little surprises in there, but yeah,
so, he just made the pages in Photoshop and then used those JPEGs as a photo.
Yes,
in Adorama pics.
Yes, exactly. Okay, from Gab, and she's actually on our team. She's a writer at Capturing Magic as well. And this is regarding the mousekeeping tip tent. We had a free printable that Chrissy created and did a post about using the mousekeeping tent. The mousekeeping tent was something that I've been wanting for a really long time. And so when Chrissy was added to the team, I asked her if she would create a printable and everything for us, which she did. So Gab says, that is such a cute idea. Do you leave a tip every day or at the end of your stay? Not being from America, I'm never sure of the tip etiquette.
Okay, the funny thing is that I was talking about this on Twitter with people because I was saying, am I the only person that tips anymore? Because I tipped like Magical Express and the baggage and all other stuff, and I never see anyone else do it.
Yeah.
So I always tip at the end of the trip. But someone was just telling me, and again, I don't know if it's 100% true because there's a lot of Disney cast members that can't accept tips. And she was saying that she found out that housekeeping, that they don't keep it, that they kind of, it all goes in a pool. And then at the end of how long, whatever, they give them like a party, like a pizza party or some kind of thing like that. I've heard that for other cast members that they do that kind of thing when they can't accept tips, but they have to take them, and they do this over a course of the week so everybody gets it. But I don't know if that's true for housekeeping or not. If it is, it's a little disappointing to me because I always, I don't know if anybody knows for sure. I know somebody who used to be a housekeeping. I should ask her, but I know some people do it every day because it can be different people. But I just do it at the end of the trip because I would never remember to do it every single day. I had this past trip. It was bad housekeeping. I felt like I should have given less of a tip because they weren't replacing things in the room. There was a raisin on the floor on the last day, and I didn't have anything with the raisin.
Oh
no! Mystery raisin.
Yeah. So I don't know what was going on there, and I didn't get a towel animal the whole time either. So it's
wow.
Like, oh my God. Yeah, I mean that should be enough to not
get a tip.
But I'm still the kind that I give them the tip. So it's I leave that at the end of the trip. But people I know when they have with the different things, like they make different envelopes for them and they leave it every day. So I think it's just up to you. But
I will have to maybe call and find out about that. I wonder if they would tell us if they get to keep it or not. My understanding has always been that you should do it every day because it's not going to be the same people cleaning your room. But if they don't get to keep it anyway, what's the point?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
It was a little disappointing when I heard that because I have heard that for other cast members that, if you keep offering it to them, then they have to take it, but then that's what they do with it because they can't really officially take it. There's only a couple of types of cast members like the servers and baggage and the Magical Express, they can take it, but I think that's about it. So like concierge, like I don't think they're supposed to take it. So that's what that goes to. But
interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. Sarah from Sarah G. She says, I know nothing official has been released yet, but I have a couple questions about the MagicBands and wondered if you've heard any rumors to help answer them. Will they be available at some point for non-Disney Resort hotel guests? And I read somewhere that it's rumored to be rolled out in December. Do you think this will mean that there may be a small chance for us to get one at the end of January? I'm going to Florida on the 26th of January and really hope to get the MagicBands. But I'm thinking that because we are staying at the Hawthorne Suites, Lake Buena Vista, it's unlikely we'll get them. What do you guys think? Your opinions would be hugely appreciated. Love the blog and podcast. I've never done any paper or digital scrapbooking, but listening to the podcast has made me really want to document our Disney vacation after we go. I'm hoping to use Project Mouse digitally as I love the pocket style.
Yay!
Yeah.
Make an air scrapper.
Yes, we will. One listener at a time.
Taking over the world.
Yes. What have you seen, Heather?
I think eventually it's probably going to be for everybody. That's why they're getting rid of the paper tickets and everything. But I don't know when property guests are going to. I know that when I was there, they were testing FastPass Plus with the Swan and Dolphin. I actually took a picture of like a little kiosk thing. Not really a kiosk. It was just a table when you entered the Epcot by the International Gateway. And so they were like set up there for those guests. So they had a test for it, but I don't think they had the MagicBands. I think it was just the FastPass Plus part of it. So since we were talking about that earlier, that, they're getting rid of the paper, the legacy FastPass. So everybody's going to have to be on that, and I'm sure eventually they are moving to that, but who knows when that's going to be. But I would assume that's what they're trying to do. It's there's still so much up in the air. They still kind of call it testing. I don't know, but it is moving to only the MagicBands for the all the resorts. So that's probably then the next phase, especially annual pass holders. Those, locals, whatever, if they haven't stayed in a resort, then they don't have a MagicBand yet. So they have to get them MagicBands because they can't get FastPass Plus or any of that kind of stuff either. So it won't be by January 26th.
Do you have to get a new MagicBand every time you go?
See, this is the other thing. I have been told by cast members, at the front desk at parks, all different things. So I have two already, and because I'm an annual pass holder, so I could use my first band to get into the parks anytime. That's not the problem. It's the room and the charging. So some people have told me, no, we can't add the room to it. Then others have told me, yes, if you bring it, they could put it on there. So I have no idea. I might try it another time. Maybe over time it will.
It's probably similar to the experience that I had when I was down there because I had my annual pass attached to my MagicBand, and some of our reservations were when we went to the Animal Kingdom and checked in, our reservation there wasn't tied to our MagicBand. And so she was able to tie it though. It took her several tries, and it took probably 15 minutes with me just standing there waiting patiently. And she felt horrible. And I'm like, no big deal, not a problem. I'm happy to wait. And she was able to get it all connected so that I could use my MagicBand to get into my room and pay still and all of that kind of stuff. So I think that they probably can, but it might not be the easiest thing to do. And if I would have had a less persistent cast member, they would have just handed me my key to the world and I would have been on my way.
I mean, that was the other thing when I checked in, because Pop was the first one that's got rid of the keys to the world card. So it's only MagicBands. So, but since I was doing the race and I wasn't 100% sure if I was going to wear the band or not, so I wanted the card, so to be able to get back in the room. And, when I went up and she's, I asked for one because I've been told by everyone else, if you ask for the card, they have to give you the card. And first she didn't want to give it to me. I had to ask 3 times. And if finally when I said I'm doing the race, I'm not sure if I'm wearing the Magic Band during it. And finally she said, I'll go get your band. Like she was so annoyed. Your card, So she went. And the other thing too is on the card, all it has is your name. It doesn't have like anything else. It's not as cute as the old one. But I ended up not using it. But I did want the backup anyway, and I think a lot of other people do too. I know people who, still don't want to use the band. They want you to have that. So, but I have heard eventually they're going to get rid of that. Even, you can ask for it, but I think maybe eventually you can't even ask for that. So I don't know. But again, with the whole being persistent, I was told I was told they should not have been that annoying about getting it, but that's the way it worked. But.
Yeah, that works. Alrighty, let's do our picks. Do you have a pick for us, Tanya?
Yes, I forgot. And then I had to look around my room and be like, I need something. But I forgot that I had just gotten one of those life-proof phone cases.
Oh, yeah?
And they are waterproof, dirt-proof, snow-proof, shock-proof.
Wow.
Like you can dunk it in water with your phone, and it works, and it actually works. And it's scary because this is the life-proof Nuud. It's called Nuud, and it doesn't have you put it on your phone, and it doesn't have any protector on the front. Like it just seals your screen, sort of thing. Like I can actually touch my actual screen through the phone, and it's still waterproof.
Really?
Yeah, so scary.
Wow.
It's so scary. I mean, I haven't gone swimming with it or anything yet, and I do want to take it on a water ride in the park one time just to test it, but I stuck it in the shower with me. And I opened it up and it was completely not damp, not anything. It was perfectly dry.
Wow.
Yeah, cool.
It's pretty cool.
Cool.
I like it.
What color is it?
It's black.
Okay.
This one's black. I think you can get this one in white also. And then they have a less expensive version of the phone too that does have a cover on the front in a bunch of colors, I think.
Cool.
Yeah.
Very cool.
And the Nuud is Nuud, and it has the little dots above the U's.
Oh, cool. That's fun.
Yeah, it's pretty neat. I mean, sometimes a case like that is necessary at Disney.
Yeah. Says the person who smashed her screen once at Disney.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Oh.
Water dropping. It's all kinds of elements.
Yeah, it was on my lap at dinner at Carnation Cafe, and I moved just wrong. I forgot it was there, and shattered screen.
You were in a pommes frites phase.
I know, right? Yeah.
Oh no, because my phone kind of dropped when I was at BOMA, and my heart stopped for a second, but it was fine.
It's okay. Yeah. All right, Heather, what's your pick?
Mine is an app called ScannerPro, and I'm not sure how much it is because when I downloaded it, it was free for the day, so I can't check. But
I know they don't let you do that, isn't that?
Yeah,
annoying?
but it's an app that it works like a scanner that you take the picture, but it scans it in, and I found it because I've been scanning in the character autographs because I'm going to add that to my site when I update soon with all my so it's made it so much easier than scanning on the scanner because first of all my scanner is annoying and not very good anyway, but this way I just hold it up, snap a picture pretty much, and it could do it as color, it could convert it into black and white, which is what I've been doing, and then it makes it into a PDF file, and it can automatically upload to Dropbox. So then I just get on the computer and move them over and resize it, and easy like that.
Cool.
It's $2.99.
Thank you.
Okay.
Tell us what it's called again, because I went to search for it and I was like, now what is it?
It's ScannerPro by Readdle. Readdle by Readdle. But it has 4.5 stars.
Yeah,
5,
it's
so.
I have had apps like that in the past that I've tried
Me too,
for
and they've never been good.
pictures. I don't know how good at this pictures because I haven't tried that yet. But for text, and I think that's a fun thing for autographs. When you scan them in, you could use them on your layouts and stuff. So it was really easy because I always kept putting off scanning these things in because they were pretty annoying, and then I'd have to put, because if you have the autographs on back, on pages and then the next page, and it'll show up when you scan it, so it's made it just so much easier. So
I think it's a great idea. I can think of a lot of fun things that you could do with character autographs. Share them on Instagram, all those kinds of fun things.
Yeah, you could probably just add it to your picture.
Yeah. Alrighty, my pick is a product that's not out yet that I saw talked about and announced at CES. I was not there, but I was watching CES through Engadget to see what kinds of cool products are out. And it's called Sony. It's Sony's Core. It's by Sony. The product is called Core. And wearables are all of the, it's the rage right now. The trackers, there were so many of those announced and released at CES. It was crazy. But they're saying that this isn't a wearable. It's a sensor is what they're saying. And so it's the size of a piece of gum is what they're saying. And it's a life tracker. A life logger is what it's supposed to be. And they're saying that Sony is saying that it will log your whole life, your movement, your photos that you take, the music that you listen to, any of your social networking, any of your, posts or anything so it's like an automated journal is what it's supposed to be, which I think sounds really cool. So it's a life logger app that will launch along with the hardware. And I don't see a date that it's supposed to be available.
That's cool.
It is cool.
It's going to be like you spend 8 hours sitting on the couch.
I know, right? Tweeting and pinning.
Yeah. Give me some life to track.
I know. I will link up to an article. It also has a video of the little device and stuff like that, so you can get more information on it. Maybe we can figure out when it's going to be out. But I think it sounds like a pretty darn cool device.
We can all live on our Fitbits.
We do, exactly. And so wouldn't it be awesome if you could just have the same thing, but it also is going to track every time you post to Instagram, tweet, post to Facebook? I mean, that's everything that we're doing in the parks, right?
That's everything I do in life.
Yeah, right. Well, I'm not walking quite as much in life as I am in the parks, but...
Yeah, that's my problem when I'm not at Disney. And so I said I just fall down that leaderboard.
Me too. Me too. My mom's kind of kicking my rear end, which says a lot. So anyway. All right. Let's remind our listeners where to find each of us. Tanya, you want to go first?
Yes. You can find my blog at crossbonecuts.blogspot.com. I am Tanya H666 on all social media. And you can find my digital scrapbook designs at scraporchard.com.
Yay. All right, Heather.
My character site is heatherw.com/character, and I'm still stuck at 199 characters. Hopefully soon I could get to 200, but
darn it, really?
I know. I was so hoping there would be one new character out on the 10K, but it was actually kind of disappointing character-wise. So yeah, and I heard Darkwing Duck was out on the marathon, and I was at the park that day cheering for people, and I was thinking maybe if I can get over there and afterwards they'll let you, but I didn't get there in time anyway, so I said forget it, because they had Mushu out, but they weren't letting people meet him, but they said maybe afterwards events, but whatever. Anyway,
whatever.
Yeah, so I didn't meet anybody new, but
your character angry is what that is.
Yeah. Every trip, I wasn't sure if I would get somebody new, and then I did, and then this one, nothing. I did get a couple new outfits, but it was and on Twitter and Instagram, I'm Heather W25. And
Perfect.
Just went off on a character thing there.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Well, it reminded me actually that we needed to mention. I posted on the Capturing Magic Facebook page that there was a post on the Disney Parks blog that they're doing something similar in the ranch Jamboree Ranch. That's
Yes.
similar to Long Lost Friends, right?
Yes, I saw that.
Every weekend through
May,
I think it said, every Friday, Saturday, Sunday through May that they'll have a couple rare characters out, or harder to find characters.
That's exciting.
That is exciting. But I hate going on the weekends.
I know, right?
Drives me nuts.
I totally agree.
The only good thing about that is like I can scope it out. Like I could see who's out on Friday and decide if I really want to go. You know, it's not like I just have to go and hope that it's somebody good.
There you go.
But yeah, so that's fun.
Yeah, I thought it was really fun too.
it's not fair because I'm not there.
I know. And it's not like you can find out on a Friday and fly over if it's someone new.
Because when I was, at Disney and then ones were sending me the pictures of it at Disneyland, like that doesn't do me any good.
Right.
Because they were characters I hadn't met yet.
Oh,
so.
really?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
It's kind of hard now that the limited time magic promotion's over, because I'm used to finding out everything a week ahead of time. And that made it a lot easier to plan on whether or not I wanted to go to the park and do some stuff. And so now I feel like I'm not informed for some reason. like this character thing was happening, and I'm just like, nobody told me that. Where was my blog post? Where was my I hate they don't give you that information now.
I know.
Yeah, that was weird that it came out of nowhere.
It did.
It was just they just started people tweeting about it, and then
yeah, I when they tweeted that, I went, you know what? I kind of miss limited time magic, and I really wish they were doing something more fun this year than just Disney side.
Yeah,
which I still don't understand what that is.
It's just kind of it's a bit broad.
Well, yeah. It's a marketing gimmick. It's a marketing gimmick. So the broader, the better, right?
Yeah, that's true.
But the good thing is that they finally took away the banner from the promotion several years ago with the memories.
Let your memories begin.
Yeah, so they finally took the banner thing away from the Magic Kingdom entrance.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, we were all excited about that.
You guys are probably just going to get a giant Disney side poster now.
Oh. We are. So mean.
Yep.
Giant hashtag Disney side.
Don't give them ideas.
Yes. I will do it.
We'll carve that into the Mickey head there.
Yeah.
Aww.
Poor hashtag Mickey.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. I am Steph, and you can. Were you done, Heather?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're done. We're just babbling now.
I know. It's fun. No, we needed to talk about that character thing. We should have talked about it at the beginning, but. I'm Steph. You can find me at capturingmagic.me. My other podcasts are the Daily Digi Digest and the Digi Show. You can check those out if you're interested in hearing more about digital scrapbooking. You can also find me at thedailydigi.com, where we have a membership of digital scrapbooking supplies, over $50 worth of products for $7.50 or less a month. Well, I would love reviews. If you want to leave a review in iTunes, we would love that. Also connect with us on social media wherever you're hanging out. There are links in the sidebar on Capturing Magic. Thank you so much, girls. I appreciate it.
Thanks.
Yeah. Thank you.
We'll be back here next time, Capturing Magic.